She family, she family. Hey, sorry about the tardiness. We're a couple minutes late, but we are here. Um, thank you so much. We love our listeners. We love our listeners. This is your host, Trish, and co host.
Amari.
Yay! Now, listen, we are, I hope you guys liked our preview show, just to kind of give you guys a little taste of, how this season is going to go, or, listen, and we want a lot of audience participation. We want you guys to chime in. We phoned a few friends. I sent the link out. If I need some backup, I'm going to have to phone some friends. What about you, Amari? You got some people on standby for you?
I sent a couple out. We'll see who is available.
My people come in bonnets and shit, so we we gonna
That's
survive.
okay.
It's our goddamn bedtime. Listen.
That's okay.
Um, all right. So somebody just said, when is this? Now. So all right. So one of our listeners, Amari, watched the preview show and they commented on our YouTube channel, and they
Okay.
were very interested. They wanted our point of views on work life balance, and then also parenting and things like that. Her name is, I hope I'm saying it right. I want to give a shout out to her, Shanna. It's CHANA. I mean, I'm used to seeing
Hmm.
SHANA, but it's
Yeah.
Channa, maybe Channa Rosen, or Rosin. I hope I'm not butchering your name, baby. But we are so thankful that you've listened to our show and that um, you want us to talk about this and shed some light on it. So we know you're not listening right now live because you said it's past your bedtime. That's totally fine. Get it. So this is for you. This is for you for tomorrow. So work life balance. That's what we're talking about, Amari. What you think?
I think that's a really good topic. Something new for me, just having being a new person, like with a family, with a baby. And so, shoot, I could use some insight from other people as well and kind of maybe share a little bit of what I hope to be able to balance, as I'm like new to this and, hear your perspective too, because you've done it.
Yeah. Well, you're all things balanced. So shit. Let's
So
go.
I should be the expert. Okay.
Right. All right. So we are going to get started. Work-life balance. I don't know. When you think about that, what do you think? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Um, when I think of balance, I think of equally. So, like trying to give equal amounts of energy, attention, care to all things that you have going on, which is tricky, right? Like balance is always difficult. And so I think, even like you said, with my name, it is kind of funny, all things balanced. I think that's always my goal, like to have balance in everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got it. I get
What
it.
about you?
Let me tell you something. I started very early. I started very, very early. I got married at 18. Actually had my daughter at 18 years old as well. And so life came at me like really fast. I was fresh out of high school, on my way into college because I'd already had that lined up. But during the summer, had a whole bunch of fun, and the baby came before I, knew it. She was here.
Right.
So life came at me really quickly. Um, and so I had to learn how to balance all of that like ASAP. Um, it was really hard, and I'll tell you that it took me a very long time to balance all of that. I was juggling and trying to figure it out at a very, very young age, and I don't think I even got a grasp on it probably for like 10 years. And
Wow.
that's real, and that took a very long time, but I'll tell you, with the help of family, you know, um, I also had okay, so I'm married to a twin. So of course my husband has a twin brother, and then they have an older brother. So they were also married at a young age. So then it was three of them, and then three of the wives, so my sister-in-laws. Um, and we were all just trying to figure it out together, bouncing ideas off of each other. And I just kind of took what I could from everybody that was
Mhm.
working and that worked with my, aligned with my morals and values and things like that. So, um, I'll tell you this: at a very early age, I learned um, date night Friday night date night. I've been doing that for almost 30 years. That is a key to balance and all of this stuff. And then when things aren't balanced, when you're showing so much attention to work or the kids or whatever, that Friday night date night what gets everything back
Mhm. Back.
back on track with your husband. Because
Right.
if stuff ain't right with your husband, you got a problem, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you were mentioning the baby, and I was gonna say, even with marriage, right? Or even your social life, if you had friends, still like taking some time for yourself, also to, maybe enjoy your friends or even your own self care. So all those things too have to be accounted for.
um my family became my friends. You know what I mean? I didn't all because I got married so young. My friends weren't married. They were out doing things that 18 and 19 and 20 year olds were supposed to be doing, and out there
Hmm.
partying and doing that. I didn't really have that lifestyle. So my sister-in-laws and my family became my friends at that time because that's who I needed. That's who I identified with. So I think you really have to get with people that you kind of identify with in order to for it to make sense, for your life to
Right.
make sense. I wasn't going out with my friends like that. I wasn't.
Right.
So I don't know that this, keeping your identity and going out with your friends and staying true to yourself, I didn't do it. I'm gonna just tell you that shit was off balance for a long time. It was off balance for a long time, but I got it back now. Shit,
Hmm.
this is my damn life. These kids, I done did what I had to do. Well, I got one more. He's still in the house. Um,
Barely.
barely, girl, barely. But no, he ain't got to move out, if he don't want to. My daughter would kill me if she heard me say that. But he ain't
She's
got to
gonna
go.
hear this.
He ain't got to go nowhere. He can stay right here. Him and his wife and his kid.
So I wonder if the person that commented thinks that like that's a topic that we would differ on, right? Because what you're saying is, you kind of let the friends go for a minute, maybe even your own self for a minute, just focused on that. And so, do you think that that is different in something that like you see in the newer generation or
Oh,
our
for
generation
sure.
specifically?
I think your guys' generation, yeah, please don't take this the wrong way. Y'all some selfish motherfuckers. Y'all are.
That is
Y'all
not
put
fair.
I'm sorry. That's just what I observe. You guys will put yourself before fuck that, fuck that. I gotta do this for me. And I love it, in a way, but like I just couldn't do it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Do you put priority on taking care of yourself?
I think I do. And I think that the difference is, like you said, you kind of like 18, hit the ground running, and then you made it work with what was going on. And then that's the time that you really start figuring it out, what it is that is even like how to find balance. And so you were just figuring it out as you go. I think with our generation, how we talked about, we wait a little later to hit these milestones. We kind of know beforehand, like I was my own person. I prioritized my friends, myself, dating or my social life. And so just because we're married or just because we have kids, it's like I think we still know that side of us that like we don't want to let go of. And so I think we do make it a priority, or at least I do. And I know that my friends that are in similar situations do the same thing.
And I love it though. I do. I think that it's great. I think that oh, we got a comment. I like date night. Yep. Date night keeps the fire going. I'm telling you, keeps the fire going. Um, and hey, in your earring. Hey,
Hey.
Miss Toya. Um, I don't think that it's a horrible thing. I don't think that it's a bad thing. I think that it's really good. I think that it's great that you guys waited. I think it's great that you know who you are. I didn't necessarily know who I was when I started this thing, you know?
But you called it
Um,
selfish. That means it has like a negative, like maybe it comes off negative.
I don't think it's negative though.
Okay.
I don't I think it's great that you guys put yourself first. It took me a long time to get there. I put myself first now, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because it's true, you know the old saying, happy wife, happy life. Like there's some truth to that. If I'm not happy, I can't make nobody else happy. So my house is
Hmm.
not going to run smoothly. It's not going to run good. It's not going to, you know, it's not going to be a happy place
Right.
for
And that's
anybody.
all across the board, right? Like if you are not happy with yourself or filling up your own cup, you can't help anybody else. And so I think that, it's important to prioritize that. And maybe it is selfish. And so, it doesn't have to have a negative connotation, but sometimes I think it does. If people are looking at it that way, maybe of our generation, that like we're selfish or we kind of look out for ourselves first.
All right. Well, I got a couple of people that want to say something back. I got a little backup here. They in the weight room. They waiting. So I don't know about you, Amar, if you have any Team Millennials, but I got a couple of Team Gen X's that want to say a little something. So I'm gonna see what they
Let's get
talking
them
about.
on. Yeah.
Let's let's see. Let's see. Oh, I lost one of them. All right, here we go. Nikki! Team Gen X.
Hey.
Nikki, what's up? Denise, I lost you for a
What's
second, but I'm gonna
going
come back.
on?
So I'm not sure. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being on standby. Appreciate you. Love you. I know last time we caught you at the bedtime. So listen, I get it. I get it. I get
It's
it.
all right.
But this week, one of our listeners wanted us to talk about work life balance. So, what are your thoughts about work life balance? How do you, I mean, do you put yourself first? Because if mama ain't happy, the rest of the house might not, I don't know. I don't want to speak for you. So, what do you think about work life balance and how does it work for you?
I think for me, Trish, you actually taught me something a long time ago. In fact, actually, almost 5 years ago, when I came to CSN, you were like, you
Okay.
know, this job allows me to do the things that I want to do, and don't put too much focus in that. And that was
Yeah.
some good advice, and I followed that. But I follow it a little different. I think I was a harder worker. I was a grinder, and I'm because my parents were grinders. But I think as I've gotten older, I'm not like that anymore. I think my family has become more important. And then I don't know if you even. I mean, I don't even know if you know this. In 2017, I had a stroke, and it was
No.
job related.
Oh
And
my
so
God. I'm
I do
sorry.
not.
Oh.
Yes. Yes,
Wow.
but I'm good though. It was a wake up call. So I
Hmm.
don't put a lot of focus into jobs anymore. I do my job. Don't get me wrong, but I've learned to get out, enjoy life, spend time with my kids because time is you. Trust me, people think they have time, and literally what changed from why it changed for me in 2017. I 2018, my best friend died, had a brain aneurysm on the job, was at her
Whoa.
break, was walking back to her desk and she was 48 years old. That taught me the biggest lesson in the world, because and literally I didn't know that I knew it was something, a brain, and it wasn't a heart attack. She lived her life. Don't get me wrong, she did, but she never had got married, never had kids. But what struck me was at her funeral, one of the employees got up and said, "I know the bosses are here, but I'm gonna tell y'all what it was. It was job stress. She was stressed out." And literally it changed everything how I felt about jobs at that point. I was like, because these people, like she said, and guess what? She said she died last week. They already got her job posted on the board. So that let me
Mm-mm-mm.
know. So I'm really all about the work life. It's a great lesson.
Yeah. And I will say, let me give credit to one of my sister-in-laws, Denise. She taught me that long time ago. This job affords me to live my real life. And I took that. That was, it was pretty like, it was damn near prophetic for me. And I was like, you know what? That it's like gospel. That's like a word. That's got to be in the Bible somewhere because it has worked for me. I'm really sorry to hear about your friend, even your stroke, but that just kind of sheds light on, yes, you do have to balance. You can't just give all of yourself to work. You
Mhm.
can't just, you know what I mean, because you're not going to be any good for your family. So yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
And that's the one thing I will say that for me, because I work at CSN and I work with a lot of students, they actually give me a little bit more courage because I remember when I was watching the last when you guys were doing the preview, and I was saying, I was, if you remember in the comments, I was like, I love their courage. They not slave to any job. When it's
At
time to
all.
go, they move on.
They
A
bold.
lot of them will tell you they don't care. If you ain't giving them what they want, they like, I'm out. And I said I love that about them. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
I listen to the millennials, especially when they argue for their salary. I'm like, for us,
Mhm.
we would say, okay, the median is okay, I'll take 60. We'll take whatever. Not these millennials. They going for theirs. And I'm like, I like that.
Right.
Mhm.
You're right. You are right. I love listen. No objection here. I love Team Millennials are awesome. But thank you so much for providing your insight and for being on standby for me. My girls be ready for me. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I love you
For sure.
lots.
I was like, when? Love y'all too. And
Every
y'all
Sunday, 8 o'clock.
stand by because it's gonna be some things
Okay.
coming up. I'm gonna need you and D to participate in. So I'll be with y'all.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Thank
Thank
you.
All right.
you. All right. All right.
She brought up a good point, even with, like, if we're saying work life balance, should it even always be equal, right? Like, should it be getting the same energy as your family? Because sometimes, especially if it's not a job that you love or that's not your passion, then maybe it really shouldn't be balanced, you know? Um, and maybe I think that that's something too. Like, it's important for me to be at a job that I like, that I want
Mhm.
to wake up and I don't mind going to. Of course, I'm always going to want to get home, but while I'm there, I enjoy it. This is something that I'm passionate about. And so then it doesn't make it so hard to kind of be away from family or try to keep it balanced.
Right, right, right. You know what? You're right. I'll say if I had to put a percentage on it, um, work definitely ain't at 50 for me.
Hmm.
So you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Do you have any millennials you want to bring in? Because I do see, listen, okay, I can see the waiting room. I see a couple of Gen X's up in there. So
Can you? I
I'm
can't see the
yeah,
waiting room. Okay. Well,
I
I
can see
have
the
I have one person I think will be good. He was saying about 20 minutes. This was, let's give him a little bit longer. You can pull in another Gen
waiting.
X.
All right, all right. Let
Look,
me
you know we be late a little bit.
you know what? Y'all selfish asses. Hold on, let me let me bring me in some backup. Hold on. Denise, Denise, what's up? I see you, Toya. All right. Wait, I can't hear. We
You're
can't hear you.
muted.
You're muted.
Muted. There you go. Can you guys hear me now?
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So, I'm not sure if you've been following what we've been talking about. We're kind of
I
talking
have
about.
been.
Okay, good. We're talking about work-life balance. What's your take? What are your thoughts? You are just for all to know, Denise is my sister-in-law. We are married to identical twins, and we're actually a lot alike as well.
We are.
I don't think it would have worked had we not been kind of on the same path to be married to them because they're very much on the same path. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So
And
I thank you and appreciate you. And I've been living by those words. And you probably told me that about 10 years ago. It's probably been 10 years now.
I
So,
had to learn it. I had to learn it for myself, just like I said, kind of in the comment, like being a mom, like you said, I was exactly like you. We were 19, 20, 18, had the kids, and it was like, okay, I mean, we got to work, we got to take care of the kids. Like, didn't have friends, just like if I had a problem, I had to call my sister-in-laws. So it's like I learned I learned early that, like Nikki said, time goes by so fast. And I sit now and just look back sometimes on how fast the kids went from babies to now having their own babies. And I really try to even tell them, the kids now, I'm like, enjoy it. Like, it really, it feels like right now drinking out of a water hose, like a fire hydrant. Like, it's just hitting you in the face so fast and then, like, it's just going to be over, and
Mhm.
you're going to be just sitting there like, wait, what happened?
Where's my baby?
So,
Yeah.
right. And so I learned early, and I thank God for my husband that we we argue about a lot of things, but we have never argued or disagreed about like how we wanted to raise the kids. We always knew, like, okay, he's going to work, he's going to do the majority of the working. I'm going to work, but I'm going to always be available for the kids. So maybe we are not going to live at the highest of the income, but we're always going to be comfortable. I mean, we're always going to be comfortable. And I was able to be at every cheer event, every school play, my baby is took third place in the drawing contest in first grade. I was able to be there.
Hercules, Hercules.
I'm in the front row with the camera. So I really learned that early. And I agree with what Amari said. Like, I do also have been blessed that I've always liked my job. I've always liked my job. And every job I've had, I've liked it. I've never ever been woke up in the morning and been like, I mean, everybody has the day where you're like, I don't want to go, but I've never been a consistently, oh, I hate this job. I've never been
Mhm.
like that. But
Mhm.
it's never been my love. My love has always been, this job, pays me so I can live my real life.
Right.
That's always been my thing, and it's worked. And date
Right.
night, team date night.
Team date night. Listen, that's very important. Um, so I definitely appreciate that, and I can attest that you have definitely um, been um, an advocate for your family for sure. You know what I mean? You never let your job get too much into, away, and you've always been there for your kids. And I know that for a fact. So, if you had to put a percentage on it, what would you put on percentage on job, kids, and marriage? I mean, I know
Um,
that's kind of comparing, but
I mean, I'll lump the kids and marriage together, even though it does need its own separate. But I mean, honestly, I really say like
well, then
64.
yourself too. But yourself, okay, we're gonna put yourself too.
Oh yeah, no,
Let's
I
do
say the same.
yourself when you first started and yourself now. So we're gonna do two different percentages. So when you first got married, first started
Mhm.
out, we're gonna put job, family, and then yourself. So it's a little triangle. So what percentages did you put on each?
In the beginning, probably 20% job, 80% family, and there
And
was
so you
none.
weren't even in the
There
picture.
was none. There was
Wow.
none really for me. I mean,
Wow.
but there was none for me. I don't remember, like, self-care wasn't a thing.
Mhm.
Self-care wasn't a thing. I mean,
Mhm.
of course, I think, like, we always talk about, yeah, back in the day we would go and, Friday night I call my sister-in-laws, and, the six of us, we'd say, oh, all right, let's have some drinks, bring the kids over, play some cards.
Self-care.
And that was our thing. But like I said, it was really never just kind of like, unless my mother-in-law or somebody babysat, we'd go out
Right.
sometimes or take trips here and there. But most of the times it was just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But now,
And now your percentage is okay. So job, family, and yourself percentages.
man, shoot, probably I would say like 50%, 50 to 60% myself. But in that, I would say myself and my husband, because like I said, our kids are grown now. So,
Right.
I mean, it's really like the job. Honestly, I do my job to the fullest every day, but I clock in at 8 and I go home at 5, and I try not to think about it
Yeah, yeah,
outside
yeah.
of that. So that's really to me like 10%, 20%, and then my family, what the other
The
30%,
40.
you
Other
are
40.
extended. Yeah, 20, 30, 50. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
you
welcome.
shedding your light on your work-life balance and that whole dynamic. We're gonna try to get Amari some back up here and see what they got going on in Team Millennial side. But thank you
Okay.
so much. All right.
Bye.
All right, Amari. So you got a couple of Team Millennials in here. We gotta see who you want to call in.
Yeah.
You got
Any
Chris.
of oh,
Okay.
let's call Chris in. I know I was kind of waiting for him to be ready.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on here.
What
Chris,
up?
Team
Hey,
Millennial.
Team Millennial.
What's up? What's
Hey
up?
guys, happy Sunday to both of
Sunday
you.
fun day. You too.
So yes,
Sunday fun day.
the
But listen,
work-life balance.
yeah, we're talking work-life balance, and I'm glad we have a male perspective. Um, so how do you, as a husband, a dad, a coworker, a friend, a son, all that you are, how do you
Make it
balance
work.
everything? Yeah.
Right. So I guess kind of a little bit of a background. So yeah, so husband, three kids, oldest out of four brothers. Like it's a lot. And I think career-wise, I'm a little unique. So what I do is similar to I'm most people would associate with a real estate agent or a realtor. I'm a mortgage lender, so the other side of that coin. And so I don't specifically have a 9 to 5, right? What I do is more like running my own business. So I clock in when I want to, I clock out when I need to. And the key is really figuring out how much I need to put into that business to make it successful on a level where I need to make it work right. And so I guess for me, more than anything else, it's going to sound crazy, but like I have to treat everything like it's a calendar appointment, right? So for example, my business is 24/7, right? So most of my clients will call me after 5 because someone that wants to buy a house, they work 9 to 5, right? And so they're only available on the weekends or at night, right? And so when I'm clocking out at 5 o'clock from doing the paperwork side of it, the hey, can I get pre-qualified side of my business turns on. So for me, I really have to calendar everything. And it sounds wild, but to put it to you like this, if I don't calendar the things that are important family side, right? Like the date nights, the swim lessons, the football practices, the things that I do that make me human outside of being the robot that it requires to do my business, then you will allow those people to take that time, right? So if I have 2 hours blocked and I'm like, hey, me and Jatara, we're going to grind through whatever it is we want to do, whether it be a dinner or a show that we're watching or whatever. This is our time. This is our appointment on my calendar. And I won't field client calls at that time. I won't respond to text messages at the time.
Wow.
Like that is literally my appointment with my wife or
You
whether it
put
be
it in the
football practice. So
calendar?
like, yeah, you have to like
That's
genuinely, it's like,
great.
no, this time is the lots. Like you go to my Outlook and Tuesday, Thursday, the season's over now, but Tuesday, Thursday was like, hey, football practice from 6 to 8:30. And you could not get me
Wow.
at that time. Like I would tell clients like, hey, I'm free till 5 and then I'm locked up until 9 p.m. on Tuesday, Thursday. And
What?
you have to
Y'all
genuinely
millennials.
do that. Yeah,
Y'all
you have
millennials
to.
got kahunas. Yeah, I ain't working right now. I love that shit. Let me tell you, Chris, I was in real estate for a while, and it
Yes.
took me a long time to learn um boundaries.
Yeah.
But shit, people will call you 2, 3 o'clock in
Hmm.
the
Yep.
morning. Talk about their fucking hot water
I've had
heater.
clients
What?
call me at 10 o'clock at night to try to get pre-approved. And it's like, no. And so, yeah, you have to create the boundaries, because if you don't, and you said it perfect, like if you don't time block, they will take your time. And so you really have to value your time, because if you're, I hate to say it, but if you're just truly available for everybody, then in a way it makes you look less qualified, right? The guys that are super popular, or the ones that are very successful, they have clientele, right? And so, the reality is that they're helping everybody. So they will help you, but you have to, kind of pull your number in, and this is your time slot, right? And so, to balance it, that's really what I have to do. I mean, even right now, I had to drive out to a property today, so I have my little dress shirt on, and those are the things where it's like, okay, I have to calendar this, otherwise it'll interrupt the things that I want to do for my family, because that's the whole reason, right? Why do we do what we do, is to give back to them. So you really, I personally have to calendar it. I don't know if that's like the norm, but like, again, like I said, for me, I'm not really a 9 to 5. So if I don't
None of y'all
make that
millennials is
time,
9 to 5. Y'all motherfuckers don't
True.
work.
I'm not.
Y'all make up y'all own shit.
well, I
I
mean,
love it.
from a business perspective, I think that I mean, I don't know. I've kind of always worked these kind of jobs where like you create, like for me, the 9 to 5. What I found out was that like if I work the same 9 to 5 as somebody else, I'm gonna give 110%. That person gives 70%, and we both walk home with the same amount of money, right? And so, not that it's about the money, but for me, I wanted to feel like what I put into it is really what I get out of it. And I don't think there's a better way to do that than being in some type of like an entrepreneurial role, whether that's a realtor, or, the time I spent in a nightclub, the mortgage lending aspect, like all of that was a part of getting what I put into what I give every single day.
I got a couple questions.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your percentages. And then I also um, give us the percentages first, and then my other question slipped my
So
mind.
percentages like hours, or like
What you give
quality?
your, what you try to, balance your energy, what you give to, like how much for work, family, maybe
Gotcha.
yourself.
That's tough, because I really try to be all in everything that I do. If I say I'm going to do something, I really want to do it. That's something that's important to me. But family always takes precedence over anything. You can ask anybody. Like if you call me, I could be at the office, right? I will pick up the phone. Hey, I'm in the middle of a client meeting, but I just wanted to make sure, like, are you okay? Are you healthy? Is there anything that I need to jump and do right now? Like if I don't want to ever miss a call because of something family related. So we just had a baby girl last year. She's a year and like 3 months now. And when I was at work, I worked in the southwest part of town, and the hospital was in the northwest side of town. So I literally went out and bought the little watch that they sell with the smartphones, like the Galaxy Watch. So I literally went out and bought one, because I was like, no, I cannot miss any communication that comes through at all. It's going to be right here in my face, and I will drop literally what I'm doing, like on the spot, to address that. Because I just feel like that would be the worst thing in the world. Like I couldn't imagine Jatara saying, hey, I blew out a tire on the freeway, and then I don't see the text for like, hours. Like that would make me feel terrible. So family, I don't know how to percentage it, but like for me, it's more like a stacking order. Like I will
Okay.
drop anything I'm doing in the moment to take care of my family. Like period. I will call out of work. I will miss an appointment. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like I will stop what I'm doing in the moment for family. So family first. The balance between wife and kids is tough. I would say the little ones, you kind of put them a little above it, and then as they get older, then like okay, wife kind of sneaks back above them. So it's kind of an age
Not
thing,
the sneak.
because like because like Sierra Malachi is like okay, like I got to be in the moment for them. That's time that you won't get back. But then Xylan's 12. Like I'll see Xylan for dinner, and that's about it. Like football practice, and so like for him, it's like okay, do your time, you're gonna be below the wife. Like, so you're like number 3. So I would say it's like for Jatara, the younger kids, the older kids, then work. And then I don't know, for me, I'm a little more selfless. Like my me time is like going to lunch at work, right? So if I could sneak off and go to Roberto's, like I'm
Mhm.
happy. So that's kind of what I do for myself. I'm a gamer, so I have that part too. But that's not really like a priority. Like if I come home and I gotta commit that time to whatever it else. Like I'll turn off the game to be there. So that's kind of my stacking order. I think maybe I should probably commit a little bit more to myself. I remember, so this was a crazy story. Like 6 years ago, like old now, I went to this house party and I ran into one of my boys that I hadn't seen since high school, right? And we were catching up and they were like, so like, what do you do now? And I was like, oh, I'm a mortgage lender, da 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 da. And they were like, no, I mean like, what do you do outside of like work? And I didn't have an answer back then. I was like, man, like I literally just go to work and then come home, be with the family, and then like that's it. And I didn't have like, to me, I didn't have like oh, I'm in a boxing club, or oh, I do X, Y, and Z. So I think that that's something that I probably should incorporate into it, because you get one ride, you get to the end and you want to feel fulfilled, right? Like if today was your last day, would you feel like, yeah, I did everything I wanted to do and I'm happy with the story that I wrote, and
Right.
I don't have any regrets. So I think there is that part of it, but I think, and that's kind of the rolling the dice part. I think that as the kids get older, that chapter will come more into play. But right now, it's just a matter of taking care of the house, being all in what I do, setting those appointments so that it's a mandatory event that I go to, whether it be a date or just spending time with the kids. And then that's how I structure my day to make it work, if that makes sense. I don't know if that answers your
Yeah.
questions or not.
I
Yeah.
love it. Love it. Did you
Right on.
remember your other question, Mari?
Yeah, I was going to ask if he enjoyed what he does for work.
Man, that's tough.
Like if that
so
plays into, just putting that energy towards it.
so for me, so I enjoy what I do because I think that it's a lack of, so the things that drive me, especially being in the finance sector, there's so much that I learn about finance, about credit, about money management that is not common knowledge, like not only in my family, but like in the Black community. So like to be able to go to my barber shop and tell them like, yo, if you do X, Y, and Z, you can get a house for $1,000 out of your pocket. Like that's huge for me because like there's not, in my opinion, like especially as a mortgage lender, there's not a lot of Black representation. And so I think it allows more people that wouldn't go sit down and talk to a banker or a financial person. It allows them an opportunity to get into investing in themselves and building wealth, right? And so one of the channels that I like to help people build wealth through is real estate, especially our community, right? I love like I love like helping the Black culture build wealth through real estate. Like that's literally my why. So I enjoy it for that. It's a lot of paper pushing and it's a lot of it's time management, right? There's a lot of like this part is stressful about it. You're going through finances and you're trying to build paths for people, and there's expectations versus realities. You get the people that are like they think they're gonna buy a $2 million mansion, and then they got the budget to not buy a $2 million mansion. So there's that part of it, and then the part where sometimes you got to say no to people. Just depending on where you are, it's like, hey, you're not there yet to do what you're trying to accomplish. And that's always the hardest part. So yeah, I enjoy what I do from that aspect. And then I enjoy that, again, it's like running a business. And so there's no cap to what can come from being in this industry, right? I can go into it with the mindset of, hey, I just need to make $50,000 a year and I can build my business around that and be happy. Or I could really hustle and just suck it up and be great, and I can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in that same capacity. Like, so it's really like you truly get what you put into it. So I love it for that. And then just the opportunity to teach people that otherwise I think don't have as much access to the information as other people do, right? Like I love that like I can present it and help somebody that like, like this person's not going to go and get the answer. So now I have it. So like, let me give it to you because like this is something you need to know to get to the next level. So yeah, I would say I enjoy it. Pros and cons on both sides, but overall I love what I do, and I tried to get away from it, and it just kind of told me like this is where I needed to be. So
Yeah. Well, it definitely sounds like you're passionate about what you do. Give everybody your information just in case somebody is in the market to buy before you
yes,
get out of here.
easiest way to find me is Vegas MLO on Instagram, on YouTube, Facebook. Vegas MLO, that's Mortgage Loan Officer. I'm working for Man Mortgage. So you go to manmortgage.com. You can type in Chris Roberts with a K. That's where everybody messes up. There is another Chris, so make sure you put a K. But look for my face. Our picture's on there. So find my face. You can shoot me a reach out. It's a very simple, just, hey, block a time slot for me to allow you to literally set up a call just like this. We can jump on, talk about whatever, whether you're trying to buy a house now or if you're working with somebody else or you just have a question. Like, I love kind of talking about that. So that channel's there for if you want to use it.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving your
Yes,
male perspective, and Team Millennial. Amari, you got another
Team
millennial
Millennial.
Yeah.
because I had two. You're gonna get your two. So thank you so much, Chris. You enjoy your evening.
Bye, guys.
Good night. Thanks.
All right, cool. And just so you know, I have worked with Chris in that capacity,
Hmm.
and he got a loan, got this house and everything done in like 18 days. So
Oh yeah.
when I tell you he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
All
we're kind of working with Chris too, and I love the way he's done it. You know, I was one of those ones, like he said, didn't have the information. Always think like buying a house is this daunting thing. You don't know where to start, and so he's made it real easy, real, simple to understand. And so I've appreciated that. So I thought he'd be a good person because I know he works, 3 kids. I don't know. That's some balance.
Let me tell you something. I think any person that has, I've always said 4 or more kids is a fucking superhero. I couldn't do it. You
2,
know, Wh- I had two only children.
you
Okay.
a superhero.
Yeah,
2,
no, hell no. Listen, they was not in the house together alone. But all right, so you
that's
got
another
one
topic.
whole nother topic. You got another Team Millennial, and then I have one more Gen X that want to give her comments. So
Okay,
we're gonna pull your millennial in.
is it Bray?
La
Bray.
Hey, I don't know if this is lagging or not. I'm in a parking lot right now.
I think the video is, but the sound isn't.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it seems like it's pretty up to par.
cool. So what about? I know you're a new new wife, new mom, new
New
everything.
working mom, right?
Yeah.
Oh, girls.
So how are you balancing all of this?
I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing like anybody else. This shit is hard. I don't understand how people be doing this.
I heard that.
But I'm making it do what it do. You know, you kind of have to like, you just got to do it. You know what I mean? You have to jump in and you have to do it. That's your responsibility. Um, you're responsible for another person. You're responsible for being somebody's wife, somebody's spouse. So you have to just kind of meet those expectations and make it do what it do. Um, it's definitely been a very big transition um with these new titles that I have, but you just got to do it.
And as you're doing it, do you feel like it's a balance? Do you feel like sometimes maybe like work is pulling on you too much? Like what do you feel like your percentages are at?
With my percentages, right now, I think I would probably be work would probably be 40%, just because I am at a new job. When I had my baby, I was at home, so I wasn't working at that moment. So right now I'm actually like in a probation period. So like I have to put a lot into my
Yeah.
job. You know what I mean? I can't slack off right now. Like I have to be 100%. So I would say at this moment I would probably be giving my job 40%, and then I would say my family 50, and then me the 10, to be honest with you. And then the only reason why I think I have that 10% for self-care is because I know that it has to be done. Like from me giving birth to my child, and just the extra weight that it has on my mental. I know that there's no wiggle room. Like I have to give myself that for sure.
Hmm.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, just know that as you get more seasoned in the wife and the mom role, your percentage does go up.
Hmm.
It does. Yeah, you kind of have to be on the back burner for now, but you'll see. Keep living.
Right.
In the wise words of my grandma.
Yeah.
I love my
And it
grandma.
transitions, right? Like it changes. So, like she said, she's starting a new job, but once you're there, once you're comfortable out of that probation, like that could go down. Then, even then, you may have like some more wiggle room.
Right.
So, I think the balance changes too.
Right. I agree. And then also like just with schedule changes and things with my husband, he's had two different schedule changes, and just those schedule changes have shifted a whole um just a whole thing with our whole just our family. It's
Hmm.
shifted a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, just little things can change, and I know that there's like constant transitions when it comes to this whole you building a family and a life. So for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Look, well, thanks for being honest with us because I'm with you, right?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't sugarcoating it. I ain't doing none of that. This shit hard.
Yeah.
But see, you guys are just starting out. So you're right. It is hard when you're first starting out, but you will figure out the ropes. You will figure it out. It'll get easier. And I'll just say my personal self-care started getting the percentage started going up when the child left the house and went to kindergarten for the full day. Get the hell out of here. You
Mm.
husband, you go to work, child, you go to school, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I used to take a day off work unannounced just so I can just fucking think to myself. I don't want to fucking talk to nobody. I don't want to look at no motherfucking body. I just want to be at home. Don't fucking say mama. Don't fucking say baby. None of that shit. I don't want to hear nobody calling my fucking name the whole day. And I would take a day off work just for that. So, but it came, at least 5 years old. So
Yeah.
it was a cool 5 years.
And it is rewarding. Like I don't want to. It's not all bad at all. I would definitely say that right now in this moment, my child's not even one yet. She will be one next week, but um,
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lovey.
but right now, just like with this, within this time frame, it's a struggle. But there's so many things that happen that you're just like, wow, like I made this. Like wow, you just see these crazy improvements and just these things that humans go through, and these accomplishments, and you're like what. It's just it's mind-blowing. So it's
Yes.
definitely rewarding, but that comes with the struggle,
Yeah.
Hmm.
you know
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your input and your honesty, and in this whole thing. Um, it is. This shit ain't easy. It ain't
Yeah.
for the weak. I say that.
Which is another good point, and like that's why Chris was good too because, um, like Labrea was talking about, like both spouses working, right? And so it's like that is even also something that like right now that's not my situation. Like my husband stays at home, and even Chris, right? Like Jatar stays at home, so it's like at least that's like one factor you don't have to factor into the schedule, or like I can't imagine both also having to work with your schedule, or if your schedule changes and then mine and me having to adjust, and then us trying to still make time for each other, like that just like throws a completely other factor into your balance. And so
Mhm.
I can't even imagine, but you're
Right.
doing it.
yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I got one more Gen X that want to
Uh-oh.
come in.
Oh, okay.
So I think I won, but okay, no, I'm just
Look, I didn't know it was a competition.
it's not a competition. It's not a competition. I'm
Yes,
just
it
saying,
is. Team Millennial, let's
Right.
all right, bye.
But I love her.
Yeah, I think that is wonderful, that she can be so honest because it is hard. I've never said parenting was easy. I've never said
Mhm.
marriage was easy. That shit hard as fuck, you
And like
know.
I was saying, I think when you know beforehand, it's like she's what? You're pregnant 9 months. She said, Lovey's not even a year yet. And so it's like 2 years ago, she was just herself. Like, yes, you have a fiance,
Self-caring
but
and shit.
yeah. So I'm like, we see the promised land. And then it's like, wait, hold up. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me bring my last Gen X in. Let's see, Miss Toya. Miss Toya, what's up? What's up? Thank
Hey.
you so much for
Hey,
being
what's
so
cracking?
patient. Girl, I know you sleepy. It's our motherfucking bedtime.
That's okay. I got my drink and my two step. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm
That
good.
part.
Oh,
No
yeah.
chill.
Let me tell you, Gen X, this got us through a lot of life. A lot of life. I'm not trying to promote alcohol like that, but all I'm saying is uh, it helped with the lack of self care.
Yes. I'm trying to fix my camera. I don't know if I'm. Yeah. It
We
helps.
can see
It
them.
helps with a lot of self care. That's sometimes just what we need in our life to take the edge off, right?
It keep a lot of kids from getting their ass beat. I'm just I'm sorry. I said that. I did say that
Look,
out
don't
loud. I'm
push
sorry.
me because I'm close to
Right.
the edge. I'm trying.
Listen, it has helped a lot of
It's rough.
children just go to bed and wake up normal.
Yeah. I didn't drink
So,
so much in my 20s with my son. Mind you guys, I have a son that'll be 30 this year. But when he was growing up,
That's
we grew up
crazy.
together and he was in his 20s. Um, and I mean, I was in my 20s, I'm sorry. And I didn't drink as much. But when I got into my 30s and now into my 40s, I kind of, alcohol, we have a different relationship. We've always known each other, but now we kind of like BFFs. Cause you get some rest off some alcohol, or you might just it takes the edge off and have you can relax. You watch your favorite show and you kind of want to celebrate at the same time. So that's what it feels like.
yeah, yeah. So how have you done work life balance? And I know you've been doing it for a while now as well. So did that change from early on and then now? I mean, what's the differences?
I think it changed more. From prior. I like having a schedule. I have an entrepreneur mindset, but I like having a schedule. I like a 9 to 5. I like a 7 to 6, or I don't like to work a lot, but I like to know, okay, this is what I'm gonna be doing between these hours. I heard Chris, and
Mhm.
shout out to Chris, because I know my
Mhm.
sister worked with him and she bragged about how patient he was. I just want to give him a
Mhm.
shout out, Chris, as far as real estate goes. But I don't like. I wouldn't have people call me after 9 o'clock. I would be offended if you called me about business after 9 o'clock. Once I finish work from my shift, my 8 hour, 10 hour shift, I shut it down and it's back to family, it's back to self care, it's back to whatever I'm doing outside of work, and I love that. So I give my percentages for work, and family. I think it's just like a 50-50, to be honest. I give 50% of my time to work, and I put 110% into what I'm doing at that time. I'm totally dedicated to that. There's other things that come into play. Again, I'm empty nester, so I don't have to balance children, which I thank God for
Mhm.
that. So
Yeah.
grateful for that. But I do have to balance. I have a relationship, and I have, my house in itself. Just I think a lot of it is more or less self care, being able to just eject from work and then just decide, okay, I'm going to spend time relaxing, decompressing, focusing on me, because so much happens outside of work. We have real shit that
Mhm.
happens. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're
Mhm.
dealing with work, you kind of have to throw that to the back burner. You can't. Nobody wants to hear about your problem. They don't want to know that you're dealing with grief. They don't want to know that you have issues here, there, or whatever. So you just give all of your attention to that. But once you shut that off, it's like, okay, now it's time to focus on you because you got to do this again tomorrow. So I do. I think I balance it out, and I am a Libra, and that works for me. I have to have balance. Nothing can be, it has to be even. Like everything is copacetic. Work, home, relationship, money, just my whole thing, because that's how I rest well at night, knowing that, I'm taking care of everything that I can take care of. Because if anything's off balance, if I feel like I didn't, something went wrong at work, that's gonna wake me up like, oh, did I take care of that account? So I'm always trying to just do what I gotta do then and then just move on. But I do think I just balance it out. But I don't think if I was more or less more aggressive in my entrepreneurial life, I probably would be more aggressive and spend more time in my business, but it would balance out. It would definitely balance out because I take pride in the people that love me and want to spend time with me. And I am selfish. I don't have a problem with saying that I'm selfish, because I know if I'm not good, nobody else is good. Like when you get on a plane, the first thing they tell you is you have to make sure you have your oxygen. You can't help anybody else if you can't help yourself.
Mhm.
So once you know and understand that, regardless of where you at, if you in a place where you can't even help yourself, you have to recognize that you also can't help anybody else. It's just
Mhm.
impossible unless you helping them drown. Because when you're in a bad state, which is a lot of people's with negative energy, you pull people down with you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Maybe not even intentionally. It could be unintentionally,
Mhm.
right? It's just what it is. It's just where you're at, and that's just like dead weight when you're not, mentally there. If you're not capable of standing up and being the best to yourself, you can't be good to anybody else. I definitely have to balance it out. And at the
yeah.
end of the
Mhm.
day, I always say I represent me first, and then those things come next, which would be my family. That's the main priority. People that
Yeah,
love
yeah.
and care about me will always take precedence over work, even though work,
Right.
allows me to have some of the things that I love, luxury wise or just survival wise. So I'm
Mhm.
appreciative of that, and I put in a hard day's work for a good day's pay. So it's a balance with that as well, but I definitely would choose my family over anything, and I would figure it out like how we gonna still survive.
Yeah.
I gotta quit this job because I'm about to commit suicide because it's too hard.
Right.
You don't know what people are going through, right? Sometimes you do
Mhm.
have to back away. Sometimes you do have to take a pay cut. Sometimes you do have to just decide that this is not worth all of the things that can happen. When you stress out about work, remember work is just to pay bills.
Mhm.
Really, that's what you're doing. I mean, even if you in an entrepreneur mode, you're always focused on the money because you still got to eat. Even though this might be your passion, if you're an author, if you make shirts or whatever you do, that might be your passion. But you're doing that with hoping that the exchange is being able to take care of your family or whatever you got
Mhm.
going on, right? But
Right.
if you just spreading yourself thin and you're just unhappy, even if the money's coming in, you still gonna look at life like it's bad. You think about people that are wealthy. They have generational wealth.
Mhm.
They're millionaires and billionaires, and they sitting around miserable as what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because they haven't balanced out their life. They put their priority into making money and not into just keeping themselves whole. Because if you're whole, everything else is good. That's how I feel about it.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But 50-50 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that Libra energy.
What you
Okay.
say?
I said that's that Libra energy.
Yeah,
All
that's that
things
Libra
balance.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Listen, thank you so much. Listen, I know it's 9 o'clock. We got to go to work tomorrow.
I'm on.
Thank you so much for giving your perspective on work life balance, family, work, yourself. I love it. I think that everybody does it differently. You kind of have to do what's working for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and I love that. I love that people are taking the time to add themselves in there, because I didn't do that early on, and that was a
yeah,
lesson that
yeah.
I had to learn. So I love that. I love that you do that. So thank you so much. Love you. Love you.
Cool. Thanks for having
Thanks.
me.
Yeah. All right. Good night.
Night.
So Mari, what are your thoughts? Did you pick up any new things, or you just gonna keep doing what you're doing? I mean, I,
Well, I start a new job tomorrow too,
oh
so
good.
yeah. So it'll be different, from what I've been doing, and I think I've learned that too, right? Like being in therapy and having clients. Like, yes, I can have a schedule, but if someone has an emergency and they call my phone and I happen to answer or see a text message, I do have to address that, right? Like that's my duty, and so the job I was in before, it was just nonstop, right? Like getting texts from my social workers in crisis. And it was too much where even when I was home, I was always on my phone, not paying attention. And so that was a reason why I left. Right. And
Mhm.
so it's like, I kind of want to go back to the 9 to 5. And when I'm out, I want to be turned off, tuned in with the baby and my family. And so maybe that'll change, but that's my focus now, right? Getting back balance where when I'm not at work, I can be just family, because sometimes those two cross over and then it's hard to find that balance. So I think that's what I took, just hearing everybody. And I think that I do selfishly, I do spend a lot of time on self care. I get my nails done. I get my right regularly. I go out to eat with my friends. And there's that mom guilt or even maybe spouse guilt, but I know that I need it or I'm not going to be any good for them. And so that stuff's important to me. So yeah, everyone that said that their self care was kind of low, the therapist in me is like, raise that up
Yeah,
because it's
yeah, yeah.
important.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned therapy. That is very important. I haven't seen my therapist in a while. However, I feel like I'm a little bit better now. I saw her a lot more during quarantine where I was at home going crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like I was working at home. That to me was it drove me nuts. Okay,
Mm,
so I actually like the fact that now I go to work and here I have my home, and then my family and things like that, and there's an order in
yeah.
things. And so I can honestly say I'll say my percentages now. Did I give my percentages before for
No, we didn't. I know as we were talking, we didn't give ours.
so if I had to give a percentage, I would say that 30% maybe goes to work. 50% I'll say goes to my family. And then 20% goes to me. So my goal is to still, even still, after being in this, wife, mom thing for 30 years, my percentage is the lowest.
Hmm.
And so I still need to bring that up. I wish it could be, a lot higher than that. And that's my goal. My goal is to make my percentage higher, um, because I think my family deserves a better me, you know?
Yeah. And a lot of times I tell people too, it's small things too. Like it doesn't have to be, we think, go to a spa or go to this. It's like if you enjoy cooking, like cook yourself a good meal or your family, or if you like, I don't know, a good show, like carve out an hour and just say like, I really want to watch this show. And so like it could be small things too that we don't even know are really, self-care, doing a little bit for us. And so I think that that's a good goal, that should always be the goal. And so I think that's a good goal to have as you go forward. And, like you two are transitioning, you still have a kid in the house, but then they're going to eventually transition out and then you'll have more time too.
Maybe my percentage will go up then.
I think so, for sure.
Yeah. What's your percentages? Did you give
I feel like that's so hard to say. I would have to
your
say
are
maybe
you like 80% you?
no. I would say no, but I think it is maybe like I would say really maybe like 30 work, um, 40 family, which is really like my husband and my baby. And I probably would say probably, 30 myself.
Good.
Um, yeah. And like I said, those things just involve, me going to dinner with my friends. I do, a lot of my primping and prepping, like those things make me feel good. I do like meal prep and I cook. Like I take the time to do those things because those are things I enjoy. And so even though they're for
Mhm.
my family, it's still stuff that I like. And so I consider that self-care, like taking the time to do that.
Got you. I love it.
Working out. And I know you work out too. So that's even like self-care.
Girl, let me tell you. Um,
Uh-oh.
I have fell off the gym wagon. LaBrea says her
Love
self
Target.
was on the
Yes.
target. Let me tell you something. Sometimes I will make up shit to do, like go grocery shopping, or hey, I'm gonna go get my car washed. And that's just my me time, so I can listen to my radio. So I get it,
Yep.
LaBrea, with the Target thing. Um, but I have learned in this whole thing that I need to give more time to myself. That was an epiphany. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all, Team Millennials, selfish ass Team Millennials. I love it. I need to
It's
be more
okay.
selfish. I need to be more selfish. I'm okay with that.
That's okay.
I love y'all. I really do. Believe me, I'm not saying it in a negative way at all whatsoever. Um, uh, so
This was a
thank you
good
guys so
topic.
much. This was a great topic. We didn't really get a lot into parenting, so we'll have to talk about
Yeah.
parenting on a different show. This work life balance, I think everybody's struggling with it. You know.
Mhm. Yeah.
So my takeaway is give more time to yourself so that you could be a better employee for your job and a better mom slash wife for your family.
Yeah.
That's what I took away from it.
Awesome.
So, all right, y'all. I think that's our time to go. Listen, if you guys want us to talk about another topic for next week, make sure you put it down below in in the comments. Did you wait? Did you really? I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
laughing because somebody put Team Selfish. I ain't gonna say who that somebody is in the comments. But here's the thing: there's like okay, just for everybody, there's a private chat, and then there's a so everybody can hear chat. And so if you put it in the private chat, I can't share it. So
Okay.
I got a lot of stuff in the private chat. Somebody called somebody a selfish MF. Somebody said Team Selfish. Somebody said Team Gen X. Woo. Somebody said the millennials do not work 9 to 5 jobs. But I can't post it because it's in the private chat. So if you want me to share the comments, make sure you put it in the public chat. But I love you, Mari. Thank you so much. I
I love you
appreciate it.
too. Thank you for having
Yeah.
me.
What you think we should talk about next week?
I don't know because we talked about a little bit of work life. I know we wanted to get into parenting, which is not a bad thing to talk about either. I'm interested to hear what people want to hear about. I like that that person commented and, put that out there. Good topic.
Yeah,
Everybody else give us some stuff, but we got some ideas too, though.
we do. We have some things up our sleeve that we gonna. Oh, somebody put gender roles.
That's a
Ooh,
good one.
that's
Really good.
interesting. I love that. I love that because I'll tell you, I don't think my house is very traditional. My husband helps me out a whole bunch with a lot of shit.
Mine either. My parents comment all the time. They're like, y'all are not traditional.
I love it though.
Me too.
I love it. I love millennials. You guys figure that shit out. Y'all listen. This shit ain't working. We gonna change that. And I love the fact that the men are not afraid to say, okay, you know what? If this is what we need for our family, I'll
Hmm.
do it. So
Yeah.
I think gender roles is a really good topic.
I think
We
that's a
need
good
some
one.
more. We need some more men to come on and give their perspective. So I'll be
I
looking
got
for.
some. I could get some. I got some millennials, some millennial men.
Okay, good. I'm gonna look for some Gen X males. So that she said that these I still can't see your comment in the public chat, but these millennial dads help. I think the Gen X dads help differently.
Financially.
Just differently. It differently. It's not only financially, but
Not
they
only financially, I mean more like maybe like support. We got to get into it
Mhm.
because
I
we
think
even
we should
have
do that.
conversations with like my own dad.
Yeah.
Like even like his role. So like I think that's a good topic.
All right, all right.
Look,
That
call him
might be
next week.
next week, you guys. So if y'all don't come up with nothing else, we're talking about gender roles next week. Make sure you guys tune in every Sunday, 8 p.m. We will be here. Amari, where can people reach you?
Instagram, all things balance underscore W Amari. I got a Google Voice number, which is
Ooh,
my professional number that I can
okay.
turn on and off. 714-794-9774. If you're interested in anything, even like counseling related, like referrals and things like that, I can get you connected with some stuff.
Hold on. Let me put that number in here. What is it?
714
Yep.
794
Yep.
9774.
All right, you guys, listen. Amari is offering her um services. If you guys want to, is that right? Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys want to give her a call, she can get you pointed in the right direction. She can get you guys, get your balance right. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then, of course, this is our first episode of this season. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can reach us at me on Instagram at pieces.of.she, Twitter pieces of she1. If you want to email me, maybe you don't want to chat below, you want to email me and let me know what you guys want to talk about. You can email me at Trish at piecesofshe.com. You guys, we love you. We love you. Love you, She family. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Amari. Love you. I will
Thanks,
see you
guys.
next
Good night. Have a good week.
week.